in Yadkin County, North Carolina.
Yankee
where
County.
Yadkin County.
Oh, Yadkin County.
No, Yankee County. Yadkin County.
Yadkin. Well, Yadkin.
Well, since they were all Republicans up there, it might have been thought of Yankee Country.
Yeah.
But they played horseshoes.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that was the game. And right out in front of the barbershop
Yeah.
every night until they had to turn on the lights inside the barbershops to get light onto the, you remember that?
Yeah.
What about some of the horseshoe games here?
Well, most time they had the, right here was the, most of the time we had the horseshoe game. Right here, right down the side of the street here.
Uh-huh.
They had this one stop here and one down there. Of course, that was a little bit different there, you know, then. And that's most time where the pitch horseshoe right here.
Uh-huh. When were the first did the first bicycles come?
When?
When did the first bicycles come?
Oh, I don't know. There was bicycles back in my young days. Where my brother bought one when we lived in Haywood County. He bought a second hand, but didn't last long time.
Yeah.
We had rough road to ride on.
And when did they pave the roads?
Don't remember. I just don't remember.
It must have made a big difference with the
yeah,
dust and
yeah,
everything.
Yeah, made a big difference.
I missed the bicycle story with wind. I just wanted to know.
Okay.
Hang on here.
Walk straight
Oh,
by.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. What about bicycles?
I never did own a bicycle. I didn't ever care too much about it.
Uh-huh.
Brother, my older brother, he owned a bicycle.
Yeah.
But my boys, when they got big enough ride one, they had bicycles.
Yeah. I don't guess kids that back then I don't guess kids back then thought about having cars.
Well, when it got 14, 15, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was pretty young when Daddy bought the first car. He bought a 25 Chevrolet. Yeah, and that's what I learned to drive, 25. My daddy never did learn to drive a car. He got so he could drive pretty good, but then he just quit. He just said, I'll let you boys drive it. So everywhere he'd go, we'd take him a lot of places. He'd like to go back to Haywood County, back up to the old home place. We took him a lot up there a lot.
When did your father, when was he born?
Oh, I can't tell you that just when, I just can't tell you when.
How old was he when he died?
I believe he's 80. I believe it's 80. I believe he's 82.
And when did he die?
Now I've got all that in the Bible. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah.
I'd have to look it up.
But it sounds to me like he was born before the beginning of the century, before 1900.
Yeah, yeah. I can almost tell you, but I won't do it, but I might be wrong. So.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, I know that everybody lived, know them, worked with them. I had an uncle. One time I lived in that house, sir. He worked in that paper mill at Canton. My mother's brother, and he moved to Gastonia, worked up there, him and his wife both. And they went back up there. His girl made a school teacher. She made a school teacher. And his son still went to Canton and worked in the paper mill. They paid pretty good, that paper mill. If I'd stayed in Haywood County, that's where I'd have wound up. I'd have made more than I would if coming to Gastonia and working in the mill. If I'd stayed in Haywood County. Well, my daddy worked there a little while, but he didn't much like it. He'd rather farm as working in the factory.
Well, that paper mill stuff, the smell of it all that seems to
You
be
could,
like,
you could smell it 6 miles or more, whether it's on where the air come.
yeah.
But you know that inky plant right this side, it, you know where the inky plant's at?
No, I
That
don't.
Big rayon plant.
Yeah.
I think that Holland, the company from Holland come over here and built that,
Yeah.
if I ain't mistaken. We went up there when they first started and put in our application. We put in our application, but we never did go back to see how it
Yeah.
come out. That's when it's hard.
Yeah.
But if you get where the wind, I thought it smelled worse than Canton. You know, they let that off, I don't know whether it's acid or what did,
Mhm.
and I can see that big stack yet, that smoke is coming out of it.
Yeah, yeah. Now, compared with that, how was working in the mill? We've heard some people say it was hot and dirty and dusty in the cotton mill.
Well, if you went to the card room, that was the dusty part. You take the winder room, not too dusty. Spin room is dusty, but not like a card room. I never would work the card room. No.
Did the lint or dust or the heat ever bother you?
No. See, back then, it wasn't no air conditions. Even many people had air conditions. And if you got any air, you open these big windows. But most of the time, it's like in the summertime, we got the air come from the west. You see, if you was on that side of the house, you'd get, well, not even too bad. You're used to it. Used to it. But if you get too used to air conditioning and get warm, I mean, it hurts.
We're just getting soft now, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Like the one I get used to.
yeah. With all these roads without pavement, it must have been pretty dusty.
Oh yeah, yeah, dusty, yeah, get dried out. They kept gravel on them. Sure, see,
Yeah?
they
Uh-huh.
graveled them. Right
Yeah.
smart.
Claude still owns that house.
Say still on it?
Yeah,
Does he?
he rents it. Yeah,
We need some back steps.
I know.
Don't you think it does?
He said,
Both sides, the gentle strike. See,
Back in the 30s.
in the 30th,
33.
yeah.
I wasn't even born then.
Oh, yes, you were.
See, you know your daddy was in it,
Yeah.
That's right. No, he wasn't.
and that's what they're going to do. And we'll get to see this one time, sometime. They say they're going to show it over TV. So if I get the tape, what they promised me, we'll run it. They done showed me what some of mine. You see, they done showed me right back.
Oh, you ought to see him. He's handsome.
And tell them explain it to them what you're doing for.
You guys want to tell him I just work here?
okay, let's get some.
Can we turn? If
got
you turn
something on.
around, we'll get him
Yeah.
explaining.
Let Ernest.
No, I'd let you tell them what you're doing.
Ernest,
You
you did a
see.
great job.
You tell him what.
Ernest, you do it.
Tell him what we're doing.
You better hurry up, Carson.
Well, other words, he's getting the whole history about
Oh, okay.
the strike and everything, and I think it's going back to when Beale was here too.
Oh, okay.
That's the wrong kind of organization though back then. I took him up where our chief was shot.
Yeah.
And everything. You're not buildings down now. What they had for the headquarters,
Yeah, we're the headquarters.
it's down.
Yeah, I saw y'all up there.
Is that where you saw me?
Yeah, I saw y'all.
What you doing up there? What you live on?
Where I live, you know.
What'd you do? Where'd you place us at?
You was off an airline over there.
Well,
Right.
right.
Road stoves, floor spinning.
Yeah, right. You know, their headquarters right behind that big building.
Behind the big building.
Well, it's just a house, sir.
In a house. Yeah.
But that building's tore down.
Yeah.
That woman, she said, no, that's the house been for years, but I know it was a building
Yeah.
there, their
Yeah,
headquarters
George
in.
Dow's house. Owns it now.
Who?
George Dow.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, let's go.
Let's go, Ernest.
well, of course it's getting hot in here. We'll go.
Good luck.
He retired from the fire department, the guys told me.
Turn the air off, please.
You said he retired from the fire department?
Yeah, he's a truck driver. See, we know everybody. Everybody lived in the house, know them, worked with them.
That one up there, Ernest. Ernest wanted that one.
Now right here where I lived, but they've added since the sold of the house, they've added this brickwork and fix it up. It was more, say like this. You see here, more like this. They put on siding and add more to it. So that's where we started housekeeping, right there in that house, and that's where I lived when the strike, the general strike.
Now, where did you? Would you say that again? That way.
Here's where I lived when I first went to housekeeping. And that's where I lived when I was in the general textile strike. This house right here.
Well, now your neighbors lived all around.
Oh yeah, you know everybody. You know everybody. But my really overseer then, he lived in that third house up there. Fella Will Jenkins. He is my overseer back then.
You know what? I had some disturbance.
He lived there.
Can he use it?
Hold on just a moment.
I'm sorry.
And I'll show you the back.
Hold it just a moment.
Ready?
Yeah.
I lived there to the soul of Mill Village. And that was a 3-room house. And my wife wanted maybe a little larger house. So I went over here. I'll take you by where I bought a lot over there. And I built me a 5-room house over there. And one of my friends, he lived down the street. And Claude's brother, he lived way down the end. And he wanted this house, so he bought it. Claude's brother.
Now, during the general strike, when you lived here, you and your family, all the neighborhood knew that you were in the union and your father was president.
Oh yeah, sure they did.
What did they think about that?
Well, it was all right till I say it was got ready to strike, and we've still been all right, but it's hard to get people. Never been in nothing. Really don't know really what a union stood for and all. They'd hear about how they made it hard for them. If it belonged to a union, they'd farm or have an excuse to run them off to break a union. But still, when organized, 80% of the gross workers joined the union. And I imagine most of the rest of them had pretty good jobs there. Take Mr. Lambert, he lived across there. He was a supervisor. He didn't belong to it. Mr. Jenkins belonged to it, and a few others. And his brother, and another of him, Jenkins, belonged to it. And a pretty good bunch of them lived around here. And none of them wouldn't belong to them. Well, after the strike over, why they wasn't no hard feelings. I just accepted we just lost. We lost the union, and I'm a good loser. For if any sport you go out, and if you ain't a good loser, you better not go out for sports. I tried to box a little bit back in my teenage, and
But one of the things that you are so exceptional to people we've talked about is that you're talking about this openly and freely. And we've had a lot of people who say, well, I'm either ashamed of it, or I don't want to remember it, or it might be held against me. Why are you different?
well, I'm not ashamed of it. And if people want to figure it, go against me, I've done no harm, and I thought what I was into, I was into the right organization, and them kind of people, I don't care what to think. See, didn't care then.
What made you different?
Well, I'll let you be the judge. I'll let
Well,
you be the judge.
Let's see if we. Come on, tell me.
I wouldn't.
No.
What made him different?
Come
Well,
on,
what do you
Ruby.
think, Ruby? Tell him. Tell what you think now.
Well,
Just-
I mean, really, he never was an opinionated person. If what he thought was right, he did it, regardless of what anybody would think. Now, he was that way. So that's why. That's
Now-
the way he was.
You were married to him at that time,
Yeah.
and how did you feel?
Well, I felt pretty much the same way that he. I wasn't ashamed that he was in it, by no means.
but all
Because-
of her brothers,
My brothers.
I'll
would
say
not
all
have
of 'em went
anything
against
nothing to do with
I'll
it.
say
None of
that-
my people would.
I
But
said
I
all of
still
her
do.
brothers went against it. For one of them was a supervisor, had a pretty good job. He was the one who gave me the job, you see. Yet I couldn't go to.
But Roby, you say your family was against it.
Yeah, most of them.
Yes, most of them,
Yeah, most of 'em get-
but they said nothing against him. I mean,
Judy, right.
they just wouldn't do that.
You know, I reckon you change when you get. I mean, when you marry. She belonged to Pentecost Holiness. Her brother was a preacher, Pentecost Holiness. He was a Pentecost Holiness preacher. And we got married. She was a Methodist, and all her people were Republicans. And after she got married, she made a good Democrat.
So he changed me in many ways, and in ways I think I changed him.
You ready to go? Ready to go?
How did you change him?
Well, we won't talk about that.
Okay.
You know, you got to have a little fun going along if you don't mind. Get bored.
Okay.
I always like to have fun.
Yeah. Okay, let's go up and see the bell.
You'll see this right there is where they held the strike.
I'll show the gate. I reckon the gate will be black
He'll show you the gate is right up
block
yonder.
if it's still here. But
See,
they tore
have
down a
changed it a
whole
lot
bunch
in
of.
there.
There was a row of houses up here on this side of the street, but they tore them all down.
Where was your gate?
Right here. Right here. But it's set back a little bit further. Set right here's a gate no, it's same gate.
It's the same gate.
Same
This is
same
it.
gate. Right there is the gate we blocked.
Yeah, because it was right at the road.
Uh-huh.
That's it,
And
Ernest.
that's when that truck driver come up here. He cut this close to it. I guess that's packed up in there 4 or 5 deep or maybe more, standing all around. And he says, open it. If you don't open it, I'm coming through. They built this. No, that warehouse still there. But they tore down. There was a row of houses right up through here where the parking lot was, just like this street.
Yeah.
And when they built this other part, they moved all the houses out there.
Where did the girls dig underneath the fence?
What's that?
Where did the girls dig underneath the fence to get in?
This was it.
It's over on the
On the
other
other
side.
side?
They done built another plant that's in and moved the fence. Moved the fence.
I see.
They
Yeah.
see they built the third plant. This is the finishing plant. They had 4 plants here.
Mhm.
They pretty good company. I mean, pretty big company.
How many men did you have working the gate?
You mean picking?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. We just went on shifts. You see, you'd stay on so long, somebody else go on. You see.
So what, 40
Huh?
men?
They might have been sometimes. I'd say 20 or 30 maybe.
So
What about the women?
There's women,
Mhm.
women too, yeah. Women too.
But so it wasn't just 3 or 4 people with
No,
signs
no,
and stuff.
we had the,
No, it's the
we had
crowd.
his, when we backed up again that gate, everybody is about 2 or 3 deep.
Did you have signs?
Enough to make somebody definitely change their mind.
Nobody passed unless we let them in.
Roby, where were you?
Well, I was at home. I was pregnant, and so I was home. I think I walked up here one time, and that was all. So I never did have anything
Yeah,
to
there
do
was a
with
row
it.
of houses back there right here.
Ask him if he sang.
On the picket line, was there people singing?
They sung some, yeah. That's what Claude said that was singing, "Thou shalt not be moved."
Yeah.
They sung that song.
Could he sing it now?
Elder Jenkins lived there. Jenkins lived here, and they was against the Union. These houses have been built since then. I'll show you the little house that I built over here when we didn't buy I bought this lot right here.
Right there.
I built that in
We lived there.
39. That's the house I built in 39. Little 5-room house. We
There's a
like
car
it.
behind you, Ernest. He's wanting you. Ernest, pull up.
Huh? I'm gonna turn you.
Well,
Mr. McCall, he lived there. He was a carpenter.
come on, you come on.
Huh?
Just kill your car.
You see that little garage down there? I built that myself. You see that lumber?
Yep.
I bought that from. We took out some machinery up there, and that's a plank off of machinery, and I got every bit of that give to me at the plant. I didn't have no doors on that. Boy bought this, put the doors on. I rented this to him for years, and I figured it up my rent, and when I sold it, it paid for my lot and my other house.
Hmm.
That nice little. I liked it. We liked to live
It's
there.
so pretty
How long did
inside.
it take you to build it?
It was.
This house, as a summer furniture from Cherville, built it. I think I had $150 in the lot. I guess I had $10 or $1,100 in that house.
Now this is on the edge of the mill village.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
Middle Village up down the street there. This is they one of them they sold it. They sold lots over here, and I bought this lot.
Was this owned by the Groves
No,
before?
no, no.
I see. So
no,
you
no,
bought that from somebody else.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
This lot was sold to Feller Austin, and I bought it from them.
Does this have anything to do with after
So
the
we-
strike?
We had, I reckon, 3 happy days there, didn't we?
Mm.
We did. We really did. We raised our children there. See,
Yeah.
they started school.
Yeah,
they walked to the
we
Grove
lived there
school
when they
from
went,
here.
when they went to Duke University. We lived here.
Yeah, they were. They were in college. We lived here.
Okay, let's drive
You
back
know
to the
when
house.
I built
then.
this house, you know what my wages was? She worked the mill. $13.20 a week. And I built that house. I drove $13.20. Was yours that same thing?
No, mine was different. I mean,
My wage is $13.20 a week when I
well, mine ran different, you
20
see. I
and
mean, certain
30.
jobs.
39.
did.
That's what
I worked
was doing.
17 years
$13.
up there.
And you put 2 children through college.
Put through college, and then when I started back to school, I went back to business college
We lived down
when I
when she
was
went back
42
to
years old,
at the
and they
boys.
were still in college. But you see, I was drawing pay from quitting up there, or from not working up there, and that's what I was paying my college tuition for. And so they both had. They were getting along real good in school because they worked in between times.
Mhm.
And so they did all right. They did real well. Both of them did. Made good, very good. And so then when I got through with business college, I went to work, and I wound up working with Morris Jewelers in Gastonia for 15 years, and that's where I retired.
And how many great-grandchildren do you have now?
Oh, I have about 12 grandchildren and 10 grandchildren.
12 great-grandchildren and
And
10 grandchildren. And you had how many children?
I had 3 children.
3 children.
I had 3 boys.
3, 10, and now 13.
How many grandchildren you had?
Well, Ernest,
6. Tommy had 3 and Ted got 3.
Tommy,
Let's go back to the house.
Oh yeah, that's my sister's boy,
Uh-huh.
nephew, and they own this racing team. That's his son there, and here's his son-in-law. He does all mechanic work on it, and that's the little garage sitting back there. That's where they do all the work on it.
Yeah.
You know where they
Yeah.
pulled out there.
Yeah.
So Steve lives in this house right here.
Well, that just where we were saying, over
Oh,
in the
yeah.
village, over
Yeah.
in the Grove, yes.
Yeah, where?
So you still got connections over at the Grove?
Well, Steve lives in one.
the house is, but
Yeah.
he doesn't work
Mhm.
for 'em.
His daddy, when it's sold Mill Village, his daddy bought this house. My son, I mean my brother-in-law, bought this house here when it's sold Mill Village.
Well, here's another clipping I want to ask you about. Do you remember seeing that in Gastonia Observer? Gaston Observer? The story about us?
I don't take the. It was that in the Gaston Observer.
Yeah.
When?
This was back in March the 21st. Night about us.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah.
That's where they left the telephone to call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
But we didn't hear from you.
Well, I hadn't made up my mind whether to get involved or not.
Why?
I think my wife kind of talked me out of it right then. But my son come down
Yeah.
from Philadelphia, and he said, "Tell everything you know."
Yeah.
He says, "Get in there and tell it."
Why do you think the difference between your wife and
Why don't we ask the wife?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, no.
Come on.
Why not? Why did you feel that he shouldn't talk to us?
Well, I don't know. I was afraid that maybe some of his people might not like it, bringing out something about his dad, and that was sort of deterring me for a little bit.
My
But
sister kind of,
His
she went
sister
again,
did.
and she heard what you said about it.
What was that?
but I don't go by what she says.
His sister. She told
Is
him
it?
not to do it.
I see.
Can you say that again about my sister?
For his, her husband, he had a,
Let's start with your sister.
My sister.
Yeah.
They don't say anything much about your sister.
well, I ain't, she just, I reckon, she's young. She don't remember too much about it. She's young. She don't remember about the strike. She just knows my daddy left Gastonia on account of it, and that's about all she knows.
Well, do you have any pictures of your father?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could you get them? It's interesting. We've been talking with a lot of people, and a strange kind of amnesia is about what we're finding of people just really kind of not wanting to remember. It'd be interesting to know what he would think of this. Thank you. Let's see. So, which is your daddy?
Right there. That's an old picture.
Mm-hmm.
There was 4 children then. Oldest sister, oldest brother. That's me there and my other sister.
Mhm.
There were just 4 of us back then when that picture's taken. And there was 8 of us in all.
And you were born which year?
What year?
Yeah.
15th April 1909.
And you're how old here, about?
Oh, I wouldn't, I really don't know. About what?
You look like you're about 2 then. So that's your daddy in about 1911 maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, it was way back there.
And this is
Yep.
your daddy, is it?
Yeah, that's my daddy and mother. I was taken in North Carolina after he retired, and he moved out in the north town.
Well, he doesn't look much different from what he does on the newsreels. We see him heading at parade with. He's got the same hat, you see.
Yeah, something like it.
Yeah. And we didn't see your mother. Now, what about this?
That was her pay. They put in an envelope. Back in the 20s, they put the whole family that worked at the factory in one, all together in one envelope, and had each name on it and what they made.
Now it says
John.
John.
He drove $13.47 a week.
And
That was 11 hours a day, 5 days a week.
and Floyd.
That's my brother, oldest brother. He drove $11.
And Ernest.
Ernest, $12.10. All of it come to $36.57. House rent was 75 cents. That was lights, water in the house.
And that was in 1925.
1925.
Well, now wages went down after 1929.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What did you make after that?
I got down to say about 720. 11 hours a day, 5 days a week. Pressing.
And then the New Deal came in.
They did to come up and passed the wage and hour law, and it started getting higher. And Roosevelt went in.
Yeah. Now this picture here.
That was number 2 thread plant, the Grove Thread Company. That's the spinning room, twister room, winder room, and card room. That's the whole plant.
Where are you? You're young there.
Oh yeah. I don't believe clothes on that.
But
Clothes on it, but
all the young boys.
oh yeah.
Well, you were 14 then?
Oh yeah, I went to work at 14.
Uh-huh.
Here's my overseer, Will Jenkins.
Uh-huh.
He was overseer. I've got an aunt on there too. She married my mother's brother. She's a Presley. Here was overseer. Here was the overseer. Most of these is. Here's my oldest brother.
Hmm.
My daddy must not have been working when that picture. My daddy's not on there.
Well, I noticed that your daddy isn't mentioned over here on this pay envelope either.
That's him there. That's John.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's.
There was three of us.
But he was so John was your father.
Yeah, yeah.
I see. So
John Robert, it was his name.
So this is John and his two sons.
That's right.
Uh-huh. And the pay just went to your daddy.
Yeah, he'd come around and give it to my daddy.
And then how did you get money?
Well, my mother, she allows us a little bit every week. That was a house that we lived back in Haywood County on my daddy's uncle farm, and that was the house. But we lived in Gastonia. They went up there to Union, and that's some of his. That's my brother's. My mother's brother, and some of the Scott family, and my daddy's mother's. My daddy, both mothers, right there. There's my daddy, and I believe that's my mother, and that's her brother.
Now who's this?
That's him.
Your father.
That's my father, yeah.
Well, he was a good-looking man. I like that hat.
Y'all wore a hat.
Same kind of hat he had in the parade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a.
That's the spinning room. That's just a spinning room. Here's Claude.
Ah.
There's Claude there.
Yeah.
He's on that picture. You know who that is?
No.
They called him Ernest.
That's you. Oh. You got better looking as you got older. So you and Ernest worked on the same shift then? And you and Claude worked on the same shift?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I was a head golfer.
Yeah.
Back then. All of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's my golfers.
Mm-hmm.
I'd tell them what frame to golf, I'd burn them down. They had the spin room, had different color bobbins and painted, green, red, blue, and a number of yarn after what you put on there so that it went on through the plant to know the number of it. And I'd tell them what to golf, and I looked after these golfers here. I was the head golfer. There's one of my overseers, and somebody broke this out. There's one right there, Will Jenkins. Here's the spinners, right here. Yeah, I know practically every one of them call their names.
So women were the spinners, boys were the golfers, and who was the loom fixture?
Then I know they didn't make cloth to grow
I
thread.
see.
They
I
make
see.
thorn thread.
Yeah.
Scott, he was an oiler. Did I show you him spinners? And he went around oil machinery. He was an oiler.
Okay.
I thought Edna, but right there's, you know that woman over there we're talking to? There's her sister. Right there's her sister.
The woman who's living in your old house.
Yeah, the old house. There's her brother. He was a Robinson. See, I know all. I mean, when you work with people, you live around and you know about everybody. We was on a wilderness hunt down out in Pisgah Forest.
Yeah.
And that's a wilderness camp. We walked miles in there, way back in the forest, and they set up these camp tents for us to stay in. So we went on a 3-day deer hunt, Pisgah Forest, and John Hudson, and that mist down there. And that's a fellow we met up there. We called him Red something, and I met V.H. Dent. He run a field station here in Gagetonia. And there was 3 of us went up there deer hunting.
So you like to hunt?
Oh yeah.
You do any hunting now?
Oh yeah. I still deer hunt.
Who's this?
That's my wife's mother and daddy, and that's her when she was small.
Roby, I wouldn't have recognized you.
Here they are again.
Look, I was about 12 years old then, I believe.
Come over and you'll see.
And here's her.
Just.
Here's her daddy, and that's one. I believe that's one of her brothers.
Oh,
Did you say you were 12 years old?
Oh,
then?
no,
Yeah.
I was looking at the wrong one. No, I was just 4 years old then.
Mhm.
Did they put a cap on me?
Yeah.
I had a lot of hair, but they still put a cap on me.
Well, that was the way they dressed then. And I like your dress
Yeah.
and
Petticoat.
look at those shoes.
Yeah, sure.
I've got.
She said I had on a real fancy petticoat, and
Yeah.
that had to show, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you were going to show all of these.
That's her.
Now,
That's
that's where
Roby's grandmother.
I was in school.
Uh-huh.
I mean, at the 2nd grade, I think.
Oh,
no,
you're-
the 6th grade. I had
Yeah.
worked there.
Your old school.
Yeah.
Yeah. How far did you go in school?
Well, you mean I went through the 9th grade in high school, and then when I went back to college, then.
You went to work, bet you.
Yeah, I went to work.
Yeah.
Well, I went to work, yeah.
But what I've been trying to figure out is why some people in the mill villages were, pardon me, almost illiterate, and other people did quite well. What made the difference?
Well, I just don't know. I mean, I think it's just whoever you are, what you want to do. You motivate your own self.
George,
You know this fellow there?
No.
Look him over.
Kind of looks like you. How old are you there?
I was in my teen. I can't tell you. Now here, over with first house I built.
Now, that's that first house.
Oh,
That's
yes,
my
uh-huh.
sister.
See,
and
they,
me and
this,
Ernest.
they moved, they tore these columns
Uh-huh.
down and put up other columns. That's her sister here.
And that's me too. And this is my grandmother and granddad. I didn't think I had one of them, but they had.
They
I just
live
happened
down
to think of-
next to Wilmington, North Carolina, down the coast.
That's a great picture.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's they.
Uh-huh.
That was a friend of mine in school, Miss Stella Deal.
Yeah.
There's
This is my
There's
mother's
Lyman.
chickens. She
there's
was always so
Frank Presley.
proud of
That's-
those.
We're our first cousin. That picture was taken, I believe, over Mountain Island down.
Oh, look at those 3 kids.
I didn't know those. They
Uh-huh.
belonged to the hunting group.
When we went on that wilderness hunt, V.H. Dent, his family there, they used to live in Gagetonia, and he knowed them. So we went up beside the bar, and they lived out in the country. So we stopped off, and they fixed our lunch for dinner, and we stopped there, and that we had their picture took with them.
Well, now let's go back and see if we can find a picture of you that was closest to the way you looked in 1934. You have,
I don't know whether it's anymore here or not.
do you have any pictures that looked like you at about 1934?
Might be in another book.
Let me see.
Okay, that was about when.
color.
That was about when you got married, just after you got married. Now, let's see.
Roby? You're in here.
Oh, she's hiding in here.
Oops, sweetie, you
there's another one up here. That's later. I'm sorry.
It's all right. We're just invading your house here. She's gonna hit me with that thing.
Oh no, these are, real lake pictures after they're all grown. Is that what he would want, I guess?
He's looking for one about the time.
We got married.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have these. See, these are the grandchildren. And I'm not sure we have any. I mean, of those. I didn't start collecting my pictures and things. No, and I see these are too. These are weddings and grandchildren's and Ted's and all of that.
So, do we ever figure out exactly how many grandkids you've got?
Yeah, I've got them written down there. I've got 11 great grandchildren and 10 grandchildren.
Did you take a picture when you got married?
Huh?
Didn't you take a picture of you and Ernest
No,
when you got
no, we
married?
slipped off and got married. We ran off and got married.
You eloped?
Really? With another couple.
Yeah.
They got married and married too. No, I didn't find anything of us. I mean,
Robbie, we
later.
got that right there where we showed where we lived, and we snapped pictures of sitting up there side of the house.
Yeah,
Where was
yeah,
first housekeeping.
yeah.
Here you are.
That was in the old house that
Yeah,
we lived there.
yeah, that
Yeah.
on the Grove
Well,
Trail.
that was later. Well, that's about as good as we have because we didn't make any pictures back then.
But that. So
Yeah,
this.
that's Ernest and this
Yeah?
is me.
So this is about the time. About
That was right at the other side of
Yeah,
that house.
just
that
about
we showed
34.
you. Right.
Except you weren't pregnant then.
No,
No.
no. Tommy was already born
Yeah,
then. And that.
And he's younger here.
Yes, that was before we married.
Uh-huh.
And these
That's
are
one
these
of-
are pictures of
Ted's
Okay.
one of
Ted
his girlfriends
and
in
Ted
Washington Duke.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
in Duke. So
Why don't you come around here, Jamie, and get a picture, get a shot of these two, of them, because I think these are the key things.
Boom.
just those two.
Robbie, go back.
Okay. Turn you this way.
Uh-huh.
Put you there.
Them two top pictures.
We'll talk about it.
They're very faint. I mean, you can't.
Well, what we'd like to do is we're going to copy these so we can.
Tilt it up more towards me. More
We're going to
flat.
copy these so we
There
can
you go.
enlarge them. You see, so we can
Okay.
see them clearly.
Yeah.
Because
Well, that is bad. It's because we, like I said, we didn't take many pictures then.
do you know how these were taken? Did you have a brownie or?
We took them.
Yes, we took them.
Yeah, we took them.
Did people use photography during the strike? I mean, were they taking pictures of your union and your organization?
I don't know. We didn't have any. I mean,
What's that?
Ernest did pictures of. Did they take any pictures of you when you were out there on strike?
Oh no, I didn't take no pictures. No, I didn't
I don't
get
think
none.
they
I
allowed
didn't.
anybody
I
to
didn't
take
think.
them.
I wasn't interested in taking pictures.
You had something else to
We
do.
was tied up.
That's right.
George, I have a question
Yeah.
I'll.
for you.
Yeah.
Let me go and show you another picture of her. We talked about that.
Okay.
We're down
Okay.
to the beach,
Yeah.
Sorry.
down to Blue Wilmington.
Okay. Let me see.
Get it, Ruby.
Yeah.
She might not want me. She's in a bathing suit.
Well, we're gonna.
Carolina Beach, Blue Wilmington.
You talking about this one?
Right here. Yeah. We went to Carolina Beach when I was taking that along about
Yeah.
that same time.
Chase you in. I'll chase you in just like chickens.
Oh no, I didn't want you to say that. Yes, that was. I don't remember how old I was then, but
That's
after
right,
after the children,
That was right after
born.
the.
Now, where'd you get a picture of Miss America like that?
Well, at Carolina Beach, we used to go every summer.
Uh-huh.
Well,
And I just they had a little old booth there
Yeah.
that they made them.
Yeah.
And this guy came around and said, "Let me make a picture," and so I just got up there and he took it,
Oh, that's beautiful.
and I bought one then.
Would you say that was? You were going to say that was right after what?
Well,
That was right
about
after
the first time
these
that
other
we-
pictures. These other
Yeah.
pictures was taken a little bit
That's about the first time that
years
we
or so
went
after
to
that.
the
Mhm.
beach.
About the same time. Yeah.
Now, you were saying, you were telling us that when you didn't go back to work, you lived with, you lived with your parents when you were out of a job after the strike?
Oh no, we still lived there. See, they Mr. Groves, he said he was going to take everybody back if they didn't have no trouble with. So we still lived on that little house where we showed you, and he didn't charge no rent, no water bill, or no light bill. And when it got in order enough to go back to work, he started putting them back to work. See, we was on short time when it struck, and that's one reason I guess they decided they wouldn't close down. They know that maybe it'd be enough to keep it going just about like they wanted to. We're running 5 days a week, so he said he promised to take everybody back. That's the reason Labor Board didn't do nothing about it. He promised to take them back. Said he's going to take them back. See,
But you were out for 6 months.
6 months.
And Ernest was out for.
Claude.
Claude,
This is Ernest.
Claude was out. He said,
sorry.
I
You
You
didn't.
were
know,
out for-
George, excuse me, since
Yeah.
we're stopping, could
Yeah.
you stop doing that to
Yeah, okay.
change? I hear.
Yeah. You were out for,
6 months.
and Claude was out for 11 months.
Yeah, he said he's out for 11 months. And I believe, I don't know, but I believe it because he was our secretary, the union. Outside of that, why, I don't see how it.
So let's see. Your father was president,
Yeah.
and he had to leave town.
Well, he didn't have to leave town. They told him they were not going to put him back to work. And he decided he'd just leave.
Then the vice president secretary.
Vice president, they told him he wasn't going back to work, so he went to work up the feed store in Gastonia.
And then Claude was the secretary.
Yeah, he put him as secretary. I believe he went in there right to about the last secretary. I don't remember.
But and he was out for 11 months.
Yeah, he was out for 11 months.
And you were kind of the captain of the gate,
Yeah, part time.
and you were out for 6 months.
6 months.
So that was the way they handled it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think the reason they done that, they wanted you to be sorry you joined the union. That was the purpose. They had to make you. I say you had to make you suffer a little bit over on account of it.
Yeah.
I believe that's the biggest reason.
Were any of the fellows mad enough to carry weapons or anything like that?
No, I know of. No. No trouble. I don't know trouble what I spoke up there, but it wasn't no trouble. They just had a few words, and that's all. Everything else was nice.
And was there any talk afterwards about a union?
No. After everybody just went on their business as usually. See.
So, in effect, Mr. Grove won.
Well, yeah, we lost a strike. He won. Yeah, we lost a strike.
Now, would you say that since Grove said he'd put everybody back, he kept his word?
Oh yeah. He put them all back at. He didn't. He let them all stay in the house. Furnished them water and light. Didn't charge them no rent. And I guess that's what really they didn't find him guilty of labor law or something.
Maybe you could ask Ernest. Are we rolling? Let me just make sure. I'm not getting any sound.
You know, Mr. Gideon, a lot of money. You keep saying that.
No, Mr. Reverend Schofield, who taught me how to remember that.
I know,
all
but
that.
you've been getting coached on the Gideon
okay.
Bible every night.
Yeah.
Ernest was saying that they wanted everybody to feel really bad and just to sort of beat it out of them. And I'm wondering if he ever stopped wanting the union and if he felt that bad. Can you ask him?
Well, since you got back to work,
Oh yeah, I went back to work.
they They got everybody to feel repentant.
Well, I don't know what the thought or but after people went back to work, it went on just about as smooth as it did before the strike.
And there's no talk of a union after that.
No.
Well, tell us about that hearing that happened about 6 months later.
I don't know too much about it. I went up, sat in the courthouse just a while one morning, and I never did go back to hearing, but I was working.
Did they ask you to go?
Yeah, they asked me to go.
What did they say?
They asked me if I'd go make a statement, and I told them I'd rather not, for I was in the union, and I'd rather not make no statement. And they said they'd rather for me to go.
This is Mr.
As a superintendent. And I told them if I went, I was going to tell just like it was, tell the truth. So they took me to the courthouse that morning, but I never was put on no witness. Never put on no stand.
Now, Claude was on the stand.
I imagine it was. I didn't go back. I don't know who was on the stand. I never did go back.
Well, he told us about the hearing first. We hadn't found the papers in Washington.
Yeah.
But we'll try to find the papers and see if we can find out what the record was.
Yeah.
George, could you ask Ernest if he...
If they put you on the stand, what would you have said?
I'd answered the questions.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I'd done. I'd asked the questions that was put to me.
Okay, let me be the prosecutor for a moment.
Let me get set here.
It's a one shot.
Ernest Moore, were you a part of the strike?
Oh yeah, I belong to the union.
Okay, you belonged to the union. And what happened after the strike was over?
Well, they went back to work. They started the mill. It went back to work. And everybody that wasn't in the strike went back to work. My remembrance, it was on short time when it struck. And everybody that wasn't in the union went back right straight back to work.
How long was it before you got your job back?
6 months.
Do you think then that the factory was punishing you for being in the union?
Well, I thought it. I guess they thought maybe punishing you wouldn't want to get no other union. I thought it. Yeah. I don't know what the others thought, but I thought it.
And the NRA 7A said that you had a right to join a union.
Oh yeah.
And Roosevelt said that if he'd call the strike off, he'd make sure that everybody got their jobs back.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Mr. Roosevelt and that?
Well, I think he meant good in what he said, but you know he couldn't rule all the courts. He couldn't do it. He just like court come up, he wasn't a judge and jury, and he didn't have much to say about that.
Do you feel that Roosevelt let you down?
Oh no, no.
Do you feel your union let you down for calling off the strike?
No. For some National Guard that couldn't come in and open the gates and back to work, and there was coming in at Grove's Thread the next week, open the gates. And for my part, well, him calling it off didn't have nothing to do with it. We done lost the strike.
Do you feel that Governor Eringhouse was right to bring in the troops?
Well, I guess two politicians, one had put him in office, and furnished the campaign. Him going to Raleigh had a lot to do with it.
So you think that that Eringhouse was doing what the manufacturers asked him to do?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Most of our governors go to Raleigh and still at it, do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now that's interesting because you, your father, and a lot of the people in your mill were politically active then.
Oh yeah, locally.
Mm-hmm.
Locally.
But you didn't you vote? You voted for the governor, didn't you?
Yeah, I imagine we. I guess. Well, I know if I was old enough. Well, I voted for him. See, I voted for him. But they didn't. He didn't know me, but he knowed the higher up.
But you know, at that time,